We are back. Welcome to the 2026 ECS Racing Playoffs in a whole different country. We are in Canada, Toronto, Ontario to be exact, for the running of the Honda Motors 110 in the Toronto Street Course and Exhibition Place. Well, it's been a while since we last saw a race on this channel. It was actually in June of 2025 was the last race on this channel. Today's weather in Toronto is a nice and sunny, 0% chance of rain, so we can see some nice road coursing racing on the channel. Well, it's been a minute since we last saw a race on this channel. Let's refresh your memory. It was in Indianapolis as we saw Byron and Hamlin crash into the wall in overtime as Larson got a huge jump off turns forward on the final lap. And that, he took it from there, honestly. Kyle Larson won the Indianapolis 500 to secure a spot into the ECS Racing Playoffs. So him and 4 other drivers now locked in a spot from a win, and 8 other drivers had to race their way in through points. After those 5 races, let's take a look at them now. It's Byron, Blaney, Larson, Reddick, and Elliott who are the 5 winners. Notice that Elliott is at the bottom at 8th place. He had a few nasty wrecks, bad finishes earlier in this regular season. And the 4 drivers to watch for is Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, and Denny Hamlin all below the cut line. With a road course and Talladega in this round, it's crucial finishing spots for those 4 drivers. As let's take a look at the drivers to watch for, we were just talking about him a couple seconds ago. It's Tyler Reddick. He is currently in first place with plus 15 points above the cut line. He only has 1 win this season, which is Phoenix back in race 2. Reddick was saying to the team that he feels good racing here in Toronto in a road course, the first ever road course in the season, qualifying just inside of the top 10. Watch out for that number 45 Toyota Camry here today. Another driver to watch out for is his 2311 teammate in Bubba Wallace. He's sitting 4 points underneath the playoff cut line. That means that every position, every point, and every lap matters. He shows that he can grind towards the field and adapt, especially on road and street courses. Bubba Wallace said that he feels good about this race. Expect Wallace to be aggressive, smart, and be in the thick of the action to start to finish today to be able to get above the cut line. The next driver we're actually going to show you is actually making his ECS Racing debut in Stort Friesen. His hometown is only just an hour and a half away from Niagara-on-the-Lake. The Ontario native in the Project 60 built submarines RFK Racing Ford says that he feels really good about making a road course his debut race. Expect the number 60 to shine and get through a top 20 in his debut race. And actually one of our final drivers to watch for is actually a playoff driver in Ryan Blaney. It's shocking to see Ryan Blaney this far back in the field, but he's sitting 5 above the cut line, 3rd in standings. He only has 1 win this season, which is the Daytona 500 back on race 1. Blaney had an engine swap during practice, so that means unapproved adjustments, meaning to the tail end of the field, as you see a couple more Fords in the back along with him. Now it's time for the track breakdown here at the Toronto Street Course here in Exhibition Place. The cars will see the green flag on Princess Boulevard for the start and finish for a long straightaway into a hard right turner on Canada Boulevard for turns 1 and 2. Now the fastest part of the whole track is going to be on Lakeshore Boulevard West, as you see a lot of cars making their moves on turns 3 back on Ontario Drive. A few turns later, now back on Manitoba Drive for turns 7, 8. Now back on Nova Scotia Avenue. That's where you can see the start of pit lane for turns 10, 11, and 12. Back on Prince Boulevard. And that is a full lap around the streets of Toronto here at Exhibition Place. Now it's time to show you the starting lineup for the first ever playoff race here in Toronto. Chase Elliott and William Byron, a couple of Hendrick teammates, make up row 1. Connor Zoach will also making his ECS Racing debut. He will make up row 2 with a couple of road course ringers of Allmendinger and Van Gisbergen. A couple of other playoff drivers with Larson and Reddick, and just making the top 10 as JGR teammates with Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. Row 6 contains of Joey Logano and Ross Chastain, with row 7 of Bubba Wallace and Chris Buescher. Row 8 consists of Ty Gibbs and Kyle Busch, and row 9 has Corey LaJoie with his best starting position with Eric Jones. Row 10 has Brad Keselowski and Austin Dillon, with row 11 has the rookie Carson Hocevar and Daniel Suarez. Row 12, you can see Stuart Friesen making his debut once again with row 13 of Noah Gragson and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Row 14 has Ryan Preece and Harrison Burton, a couple forwards there, with row 15 having Todd Gillen and John Hunter Nemechek. Row 16, you could see the drivers who had to make it to the rear with Ryan Blaney and Austin Cedric. And row 17 has Chase Briscoe and Michael McDowell. Alright, it's time to get the engines fired here, going back to another fellow Canadian with Nene. Take it away.
We've waited long enough, Canada. It's time to get hype and to get loud and to get excited for the great Toronto Grand Prix. Gentlemen, start your engines!
We haven't heard these sounds in a long time. It's great to hear the engines fire up as the cars are now rolling off here in Toronto for the first ever time. Just before we go green, let's take a look at the race analysis here in Toronto. It's going to be a 12-lap event. The pit road speed is going to be 45 miles per hour, and it's going to be the first race of the 2026 playoffs. There you can see to the rear, guys. It's all Ford, with Blaney being the most significant one with an engine swap. It's for the playoffs, so expect some good racing and some hard racing for these drivers. Hendrick teammates Chase Elliott and William Byron will take them to the green flag, and for the first time ever, we're racing in Canada! Chase Elliott now clearing his Hendrick teammate William Byron, now heading down to turn 3 with Christopher Bell making it 3 wide with the Red Bull team. As now Elliott now through turns 8, 9, and 10, he'll lead the first ever lap in Toronto. Single file already with 4 cars, as the first battle is Bell and AJ Allmendinger for the 5th position. Now already back on turns 3, Elliott has a good clear advantage from Byron with a second lead. As we just mentioned, the first battle here for 5th place, it's Christopher Bell and AJ Allmendinger. Bell is one of the playoff drivers, so he needs a few spots here. Oh, he's got a car already in the wall. It's Ross Chastain, as he's losing a lot of positions here as a playoff driver. Quick replay of what happened. Looks like Bubba Wallace and Chastain actually got into each other. Those two playoff drivers have made it clear that they are not racing cleanly. Here already on lap 4, as you see Bell clearing, as we see 5, 6 cars single file already with Larson and Reddick. Oh, Larson got a little loose there, as we still single file on turns 3. Back on Manitoba Drive here, back now on Nova Scotia Drive to complete lap number 5. Oh, you got a caution, big crash in turns number 3. It's Preece, Gregson, Cedric involved. His Preece is on the tire barrier. It's going to be a red flag. That's going to be a mighty cleanup for those guys. Cedric, one of the biggest names here. Oh, look, you can see Michael McDowell tucked in the corner here. Big crash on lap 5. Let's take a look what happened. Oh, wow. It just looks like Noah Gragson just lost his brakes, collided to his Stewart-Haas Racing teammate of Ryan Preece. Preece got up all his rear tires on top of the tire barrier, and Cedric just slid in. Same with Gilliland, nowhere to go. As you see Stuart Friesen just coming in. That's a welcome to the big leagues moment for that number 60. Lap 4 caution already. 3 cars are already out, and they're all Fords. Cedric is going to go back into the field with a few adjustments, as it's going to be Hendrick teammates now to the lead, as we're back racing here in Toronto on lap 7. Byron already cleared Elliott, as now Bell is now challenging Elliott for that 2nd position. Still side by side entering turns 3 on Manitoba Drive, as Elliott will now clear Bell for that 2nd position. Now back on Prince Boulevard now on lap 8, as it's now single file for the top 3. Now the first battle for 4th place, it's a couple of road course ringers of Shane Van Gisbergen and AJ Allmendinger. As you can see, Ryan Blaney, who started near 30th place, is plus 12. It's already been a good day for him. And not a good day for Ross Chastain. He's down 9 positions after that spin on Bubba Wallace back on lap 4. Now on lap 9 here, Byron now clears Elliott. Has a little lead now from Bell, Van Gisbergen, and AJ Allmendinger. Elliott is now in desperate mode, now closing down at 3 laps to go in front of his Hendrick teammate William Byron. It's a win and you're into the next round for these playoff drivers, and with Talladega being the next playoff race, it's crucial for the playoff drivers to get a win early to advance to the next round. Now Byron has a few second lead over his teammate with Chase Elliott, now closing down to 2 laps to go for the 24 team. Bell now quickly closing on Chase Elliott here for the second position. Now all 3 drivers are playoff drivers here, closing down with 2 laps to go in Toronto. Now on Manitoba Drive, it's now going to be 1 lap to go for the 24 team. William Byron, 1 lap to go here in Toronto. It's been a Hendrick dominance day for Chase Elliott and William Byron. Chase Elliott has a few more turns. He tries to dive bomb, but it doesn't work. William Byron now on Manitoba Drive. Now turns 9, 10, 11 on Prince Avenue. He will win here in Toronto and will lock himself to the round of 8. William Byron on that pass on the restart was crucial for him, and he took it. As you see a replay of that pass, and that kind of sold the race for Chase Elliott. As you see a little dive bomb from that 9 team on turns 3. Did not work. And William Byron, with Talladega being the most important race next week, is going to be the winner of Toronto. As William Byron deservedly burns it down here in Toronto. William Byron is your winner here in Canada. He is the first driver with 2 wins of the season. His first win was in New Hampshire back on race 4. Now let's take a look at your unofficial results here. The first 3 drivers were playoff drivers of Byron, Bell, and Elliott. Kyle Larson was the next playoff driver back in 7th, with Tyler Reddick with 9th place. Ryan Blaney, who started 30th, now finished in 20th. It was a good day for him. And Denny Hamlin, who was below the cut line with a 13th spot. So let's see if he had good enough points to make it into the above the cut line. So you see the final point in your graphic. The 3 drivers, who did not make the race was Priest, McDowell, and Gregson back on that lap 5 crash with Priest above the tire barrier. That was a crazy crash for that 41 team. Now it's time to look at the point standings after Toronto, with Talladega next, the most dangerous track of the schedule. Here's William Byron advances to the next round, so he does not have to worry about advancing next week. Tyler Reddick gains a few points. He's plus 22. Elliott jumped from 8th to 3rd with plus 13. And Denny Hamlin, surprisingly not above the cut line with minus 3. A few noticeable drivers there is Kyle Busch, who went up plus 4. Blaney and Truex Jr. are now tied. Currently right now, Truex holds the tiebreaker between them. Well, that's it for me. I'm so sorry for the late post between Indianapolis and Toronto. A lot of stuff has happened between them. The next race is going to be Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. And it's going to be a great race here for the second round of round 1. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in Talladega.